Anglo-French rivalry has lasted over 1,000 years and never so hard fought as at the Grand Prix des Remparts at Angoulême in September 2007. The French contestant in this epic duel was a Delahaye 135 with a 3.5 litre engine giving 160 brake horsepower and 115 miles per hour. These cars had successes at Le Mans, the French Grand Prix and Brooklands in the 1930s and had been developed extensively for sports car racing. By comparison, the British entrant, a 3.5 litre 1938 Alvis Speed 25, had started life as a four-door saloon before being developed as a special four-seater tourer. Although it was an excellent fast tourer, Alvis never supplied a racing body, and these cars were, unlike the Delahaye, not used for serious racing. Our Alvis has been developed for Roseland racing by Paul Mason at his workshops near Tours, and retained many original features such as basic profile tires, drum brakes, and is normally aspirated. And finally the beast, the Alvis. Especially lowered back suspension now. Reversed headlights for greater aero efficiency. Very simple interior. The scene for this race was the cobbled streets around the medieval ramparts of Angoulême, where Fangio had raced in past post-war Grand Prix. The driver of the Alvis, the hero of this totally unbiased piece of reportage, was Paul Chapeau Mason, so called because of his amazing bravery in the 2006 Grand Prix des Remparts. Falling onto the track after a slight brush with the Armco, he ran after the Alvis, jumped back in and retained his position in the race. Chapeau to that, said the French press, and the crowd in Angoulême in 2007 were expecting something equally outrageous from this British daredevil driver. I managed to catch him for a short interview after practice. Hello. Filming. Here we are. Well, how did it go, Paul? What do you think?
Well, very good.
You were right behind that.
Bugatti, yeah.
But he went away a bit later, I think.
I backed off a bit.
Yeah, fast.
I lost the brakes. He was quick, wasn't he?
Oh, lethal. Yeah,
I
absolutely.
lost the brakes completely, so I thought I'd come in and I got a couple of hot laps in there. And we left the field, so I overtook all the other cars. I had a bit of a gap, 2 hot laps in.
That's all you need, yeah. So here we are at the start of the safety lap, just leaving the pits on board the Alvis. I noticed that Delahaye seems to be trying to sneak an extra space there ahead of the Alvis. Maybe a foretaste of what's to come. Anyway, this is just a safety lap after all. No prizes for winning here as we come down through the cobbled streets, twisting and turning the medieval buildings, a wonderful backdrop. As we go through these challenging corners, we're turning right now into the straight. The town rearing majestically up to the right. Of course, the drivers will have little time for these views. without me hearing more the roar of the vintage exhaust as they change down and come into the first chicane, turning sharply right and mounting the ramparts now. Left turn into the second chicane, having to swing the car far out to get round, and up into the third, the what's known as the cathedral turn, just on the left, beautiful cathedral, and back again to the start. The 1 mile circuit has not changed since the first Grand Prix event in 1939. The race has always been held on the third weekend in September. Now here we are, the race lineup's clear. We have the Bugatti 35B in pole, followed by the Dutch 4¼ litre Alvis Special, then the supercharged MG, then the Delahaye. I think perhaps he was allowed to be in the position, so it was maybe a little unfair there, and then the Alphas of Paul Chapeau Mason. Tensions building here. Past people clearing the track. And there goes the flag. God. Off they go. Well, Paul seemed to be asleep there. I think the white Delahaye's whipped past him, leaving a lot of smoke, I have to see. So as they come round past the Armco where Paul fell out the previous year, at least he's stayed in his place this year. A few signs of relief from the crowd there. And then as we come down in second gear through the streets, the car's bunching a bit. Certainly the white Delahaye is clearly holding Paul up as Paul nips past him in third gear very easily there in the approach to the first chicane. Down into second and up through the chicanes now with the MG supercharged Montclery in his sights. The race seems to be settling down now, and it looks as though Paul is now up behind Delahaye. Yes, there they are, linked together as they come past the Armco known as Mason's Armco, and down through the twisting streets again. No chance, of course, to overtake here. What's happened there? A whole lot of smoke and a car, I'm not quite sure what it was, has dumped a whole lot of oil on the cathedral corner. Here comes the white Delahaye. It's driven straight into the track, gone into the oil. No way it could miss it. Meanwhile, oblivious to all of this, the blue Delahaye and the Alvis are locked in mortal combat, like, in a sense, the Titanic proceeding towards an inevitable disaster, completely unaware of the problems ahead. You can see that at the end of the straight, the Delahaye brakes terribly early, and Paul is able to nip by on the right-hand side. Oh, I noticed, was that a bump? I think the Delahaye drove straight into the back of him there, and here they are in the second. He got another bump. I think the Delahaye's trying to barge his way past, but Paul holds the racing position as he's entitled and comes into the corner, and oh, good Lord, straight into the Armco. No way he could avoid it, and the Delahaye then drives straight into the back of him. What a complete disaster. Oh, look, there's one of the officials waving his arms like Sir Malcolm Sargent when he's lost his place in the score. What a Fronglais fracas. Yes, they're still waving their arms. I think a small discussion is taking place. I notice the atmosphere turning somewhat blue. I imagine that is the origin of the term, of the colour, the favourite colour in France, blue. Paul is keeping very calm. Some of the officials just seem to be laughing it off, haven't really a clue what to do. The Delahaye driver has got out to inspect how much damage he's done to the Alves. He's obviously not dealing with the insurance claim at the moment. Paul sportingly gets out to help. I don't think he was raising his fists, I think he was just adjusting his visor. As we see the wall, which must have survived for several thousand years before this particular crash. Now they managed to get the cars moving, the Alves is pushed off, and sportingly I see Paul lets the Delahaye go by to take the flag slightly before the Alves, as they are then go back into the pits. Well, I think although the Delahaye was the winner here, Paul can take the moral high ground. It matters not who wins or loses. It's how you play the game.